Hi. Have you ever been driving and got this thought that you could just drive into the oncoming traffic? Or maybe you were in some high place, whether it's like 13th floor apartment, and you're looking down, you see the street, and everyone's looking like ants, and you get this like urge to jump. Or maybe you were hiking or visiting Niagara Falls. Maybe you were in the ship or a yacht, and all of a sudden you get this feeling like, I could jump down. Or you're standing on a beach and feel drawn to go into the ocean and just drown yourself. If you ever experience something like this, you're not alone. You're not crazy, and you're not wishing to die. In fact, this is called a call of the void phenomenon, or the high place phenomenon. This is basically our consciousness telling us that you do have a chance to control your life. Your instincts, when you look down and get this urge like, hey, I could jump, well, your body pushes back. Your instincts are telling, I need to survive. But your consciousness reminds you that you are not on autopilot. You are in control of this vessel and everything you do in your life. And if you wanted to, you could do it. Now, by all means, I'm not recommending it, but a lot of people get these intrusive thoughts and they feel like they're going crazy, like there is something wrong with them. Like there's this voice in their head telling them to do stuff, and there's some entity or the demonic being and that's possessing them, but it's not necessarily true. A lot of people get these intrusive thoughts. Now, for most people, they're saying like there's not enough research done on why this is happening, but most of the explanations leads to this that our consciousness tells us that we are in control. And if you wanted to choose, while your body tells you that we have to survive, and same way like the bacteria in your body would like to survive and keep the owner host alive so that they could thrive as well, your body like resists this. But your consciousness reminds you, hey, I am running this vessel. I'm in control. And worst case scenario or best case scenario, in any kind of way you could do it. That being said, I would also not dismiss the fact for a lot of people, it is also a reaction to little stress factors. From the moment you were born up until now, you have experienced a lot. And it's a buildup. Your body, your memory, it's built up in your cells. Everything that happens, it's stored within you. Not just, good memories of good events, but also like stressful situations, and mainly stressful situations. Things that causes anxiety, things that are triggering. When things like that happen, you build up some sort of protection. And for some people, protective mechanism is like, okay, you lose your childhood, so you're gonna be hyper vigilant and act as an adult and try to take care of everyone else. Or some people just close up and stop being themselves and kind of try to handle the whole world by themselves instead of asking for help or opening up and actually communicating about some of the issues in their life. People learn to cope with life and difficulties, but it builds up. And we learn that whenever we see stress, whenever there's something that could cause anxiety, whenever there is something that can trigger us, whatever kind of danger, our brain cannot tell the difference. Whether it is, you have to pay the bills and cover the taxes, or is the lion chasing you, your brain will react the same. Stress. There is stress. There is danger. We have to fix it. So we learn how to cope with stress and anxiety, but at the same time, our brain reminds us whenever there is something triggering around us, outside of us, we tend to, okay, I have to be in control. I have to run. I have to fight. I have to do something about it. So, smallest triggers that we are unconscious of because we have the reticular activating system that works like a filter. And while there's so much information around us that's overwhelming, the RAS system will help you to pretty much filter out everything that's unneeded. Yet, while you might notice and your eyes pick up that there's a couple bickering or there's something happening in the background, you will not pay attention and you will not care. But your eyes saw it and it sent a signal to your brain, and now you're going to react to it. So even when you look down and you see, hey, I could jump. Hey, I could drive into another car. I could drive into a tree. I could do this. Our brain also sends a signal, hey, you know, escapism. You have to get out, or you can get out, and you're in control. Anyway, I would say people should explore this phenomena. this urge that feels suicidal to many is actually pretty common. And for a lot of people, they feel crazy because they get these intrusive thoughts. And it's the same as just the kiddo wondering, like, hey, well, what happens if I light up the match? And if after I light up the match, what happens if I try to burn this and burn that? And it's just curiosity leading us somewhere. But at the same time, it is our mind telling us that no matter what, no matter how bad things could be, and even if our system tells us, like, hey, our instincts are trying to help us survive, your mind will remind you that you're in control eventually. That being said, explore the subject. You're not alone. If you ever get these intrusive thoughts and think like you're suicidal, you're not. It's natural for people to feel like it, but it's also better to pay attention to those intrusive thoughts. And if it's too much, if they're overwhelming, now that's the time where you have to do something about it. If it just happens once in a while, as in once every few months, and you don't trigger those situations too much, you're not alone. There's plenty of people.